Chapter 1, verse 1. That which was from the beginning, which we have heard, which we have seen with our eyes, which we have looked upon, and our hands have handled, of the word of life. The fundamental good news, thought, and truth is, God the Logos became incarnate, so that we may become co-incarnate in Him. He became man, so that we may become divine. He, the eternal life, appeared on earth, so that we might have communion with Him and through Him. About the Logos of life. This is the theme of this gospel. It is as if the Holy Theologian wants to give us a new explanation of the basic message of his gospel. The Logos became flesh. God the Logos, who is the eternal life, came to us. That which was from the beginning, i.e., the eternal, came down from heaven, became flesh, became our earthly reality, accessible to our senses, our comprehension, and our sensibility. That which we have heard. We heard the message of God the Logos, that is, what we have seen with our eyes. We saw God in the flesh, God in the world, God among us, that is, which we have looked upon. We have seen and we have looked upon God in man, that our hands have handled. Before His death on the cross, and after His resurrection from the dead, we have touched the body of God the Logos in the same way. We have heard, we have seen with our eyes, we have looked upon, and our hands have handled. The Word of life, the Logos of life, the God of life. God, the Logos, had become our closest reality, and we examine this in the most evident and experimental way. This method is purely experimental and empirical. The Logos of life is, in reality, the logic of life, the wisdom of life, and the Word of life. Before Him, life was irrational, senseless. Before Him, life was illogical and consequently non-logical. It did not have any compatibility with logic. Everything was chaos. Everything was a bazaar of senselessness. Before Him, the words of life. Life was deaf and mute. It did not have the ability to speak, to say, to profess, to express itself, its secret, its hardships, its pain, and its joy. With Him, life gains all of that. Life uttered its first words because it received the Logos. Life received its purpose because it received the Logos. Life became all-wise because it received the Logos. Life had become devoid of the Logos, illogical, senseless, purposeless, and foolish, through sin and because of sin. That which is of human thought, whether it be Greek, Roman, Hindu, or any other, was and remained an ideal, an idea, an abstraction. And the otherworldly had, through the incarnation of God the Logos, become life, our earthly life. To receive the Logos and the logic of life, it is not necessary to go into the other world because the logic and the Logos is here among us. We have the Logos of life. Therefore, we know the logic of life, the purpose of life, and the meaning of life. If we did not know the beginning of life, behold, there it is, God the Logos, for He is that which was from the beginning. Life is not something that is senseless, but rather something that was divinely logical from the very beginning. Sin is a power that takes away the Logos, deprives one of the divine logic, of logicality, of the divine purpose and providence. In reality, sin is the only thing that makes life senseless.